Have you ever felt like changing your life is this huge, impossible mountain to climb? Well, today we're diving into Atomic Habits by James Clear, and we're going to uncover a pretty wild secret. Real, lasting change doesn't come from some massive, life-altering event. Nope. It comes from the tiny, almost invisible things you do every single day. I mean, we've all been there, right? You set a big goal, you're super motivated for like a week, and then poof, you're right back to square one. It is so frustrating. But what if the problem isn't your willpower? What if the problem is just the size of the change you're trying to make? So the whole idea of Atomic Habits really kicks off with this number, a number that seems almost silly. It's so small, 1%. Forget the huge dramatic changes. What if you just aim to get 1 single percent better every day? It honestly doesn't feel like much. It might even feel pointless. But you've got to stick with me here, because the math behind this is, well, it's kind of mind-blowing. Because that tiny 1% improvement, it doesn't just add up over time. It compounds. It multiplies. If you actually manage to get 1% better each day for a whole year, you won't be 365% better. You'll be nearly 38 times better than when you started. That number is just shocking, and it totally pulls back the curtain on the real power of small, consistent effort.
And that's really the secret sauce right there. We think we need to make some giant leap to get where we want to go, but massive success doesn't actually require massive action. What really moves the needle are those small daily choices that just stack up one on top of the other day after day. To really get this, think about an airplane flying from New York to LA. If the pilot adjusts the nose of the plane by just 3 degrees, I mean, that's a tiny shift you'd never even notice at takeoff. By the end of that cross-country flight, you'd land in a completely different country. And your habits, they work the exact same way. A tiny course correction today can literally change your destination in life.
And James Clear just nails it with this quote. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. It's not about that one heroic moment. It's not about the all-nighter you pull or the crash diet. It's about just showing up in small ways over and over again. That's what builds a successful life.
All right, so here is the first major mindset shift in the book, and it's a big one. As a culture, we are completely obsessed with setting goals, but Clear argues that our focus is in the wrong place. We should be focusing on our systems instead. So, what's the difference? Well, a goal is the finish line. It's the result you want. A system is the process that gets you there. And here's the real kicker. Winners and losers, they often have the exact same goals. Think about it. Every single athlete at the Olympics wants to win the gold medal. The goal isn't what separates them. What separates them is their system, their daily process of training and practice.
This leads to probably the most powerful line in the entire book. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Your goals are great for setting a direction, sure, but it's your systems that actually determine your progress, especially on those days when you have zero motivation. Okay, so we've talked about small habits compounding, and we've talked about focusing on systems. But now, we're going to get to the deepest, most powerful layer of all this. This goes way beyond just what you do. It's about who you want to become. So James Clear says there are 3 layers to behavior change. And most of us, we try to change from the outside in. We start with the outcome, like I want to lose weight. Then we figure out a process, like I'll go to the gym. But real lasting change, that works from the inside out. It starts with your identity, what you truly believe about yourself. And this little shift in thinking is, well, it's everything. The goal is no longer just to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal isn't to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. See the difference? When you start to believe, I am a healthy person, making healthy choices isn't some chore you have to force yourself to do. It's just you acting in alignment with who you are. And I love this way of thinking about it.
every single action you take is like casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. Did you go for a run? That's one vote for I am a runner. Did you read one page of a book? That's a vote for I am a reader. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's just to cast more votes for your new identity than for your old one. You just have to win the election.
Okay, so this is all great, but how do we actually do it? How do we build these systems that shape our identity? Well, this is where the really practical step-by-step framework comes in. It's called the 4 laws of behavior change. Think of it as a simple roadmap for building better habits.
So every habit follows a 4-step loop. There's the cue that triggers it, the craving you feel for the reward, the response or action you take, and finally, the reward you get. To build a good habit, all you have to do is engineer your environment so that the cue is obvious, the craving is attractive, the action is easy, and the reward is satisfying.
And what's so brilliant about this is that to break a bad habit, you just flip it. You invert the laws. You want to make the cue invisible, the craving unattractive, the action as difficult as possible, and the reward totally unsatisfying. It's this beautiful 2-sided framework for really taking control of your behavior. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This is all great in theory, but where do I actually start? How do you get over that initial hump of just starting? That's where this last super practical tool comes in handy. It's called the 2-minute rule, and it is designed to completely destroy procrastination. The idea is simple. Any new habit you want to start should be scaled down into a version that takes less than 2 minutes to do. Now, the point isn't to change the world in those 2 minutes. The point is to master the art of just showing up. So read for an hour every day becomes read 1 page. Run 3 miles becomes just put on my running shoes. You're not trying to run the marathon yet, you're just mastering the first 2 minutes. Because once you've started, once you've put on the shoes, continuing is so much easier. This is how you build that critical initial momentum.
So, as we wrap all this up, the big takeaway is this. You don't have to wait for some magical burst of motivation to change your life. You just need a better system. And the question to ask yourself isn't, what big goal can I accomplish? But what tiny 2-minute habit can I start today, right now, that my future self will thank me for?